Did you see that the Supreme Court justice is stepping down?
I did, yeah.
Yes. And then Joe Biden is trying to reappoint somebody really quickly, kind of thing.
Yeah.
One thing that does get me with that is that he's like announced that it can only be a black woman, which of course these people deserve, like there deserves to be a representation or whatnot. But to just to say that you can only possibly have a black woman take this role just seems like, if I said only a white man can take the role, that's racist. But if I can say a black woman can only take this role, it's like it just is kind of like, are we boxing in to try to make this political correctness? Does Biden even care, or is he just trying to push a narrative? Like, do you
Yeah. I think he made in his campaign trail, he said he was going to elect a black woman. So I think first he needs to live up to his word. I see what you're saying though. And unfortunately, it's like right now we're in a point politically in our country where everything is a fucking
it's like
button pusher.
Yeah, man. Like I don't give a shit, if the best person for this job is a black woman, right? I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go, baby.
Yeah.
But if it's like, oh, it can only be a black woman, it's like, what about like the 90 other percent of the country? Like, oh, it even does. What about some Latino guy? What about some Asian guy? What about some white woman? Like, whatever the hell. It doesn't, whatever to me, like, as long as it's the best person for the job. And the fact that we're pushing such a political narrative with everything, it's right side, left side, my team, your team, it's so crazy and backwards to me. And then I don't know, man.
I get what you're saying though. And I think the issue though, I lean towards like the side that because they weren't for most of our country's existence, black women especially weren't given that role or even opportunity to pursue that. So I'm all for it.
It's kind of like making up for it in a way.
It's making up for it, but it's also just like it's there's so many systemic issues and institutionalized norms that are just wrong and not correct, not equitable, and it's unfortunate. But it's like it's not our fault directly, but it's our fault if we continue perpetuating that. So I think if this is a step to push us in the right direction, which I think it is, and if that's putting a black woman in the Supreme Court because she's qualified, and also because like it's time, then let's fucking do it. You know what I mean? Because sorry. No, you go. Sorry.
I was talking to Ella Crowley, which I'm sure you know, and she was saying how she's a woman in physics, right?
Yes.
And so that's really rare in a way. So like all of the academia are pushing her to be in physics and keep pushing physics and keep doing this and keep taking all these. And then all of a sudden she starts to get all these offers and all these scholarships and all these awards because, she's in physics, right? But she's like, she was telling me, she's like, I don't really know if I'm getting these awards because I'm good at physics or because I'm a woman that's good at physics. And in a way, it cheapens everything that they've ever given me. And so my point back to the Biden thing is like, why not just appoint a black woman and not make a deal about how it could only be a black woman?
Yeah.
Because if you have all of these candidates, from every sect of the world, of the United States, and then you decide the black woman is best fit, I feel like that gives like, oh, yes, like people are going to respect that and understand that a lot more if even there was a candidate of any other background.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I remember in a class we were talking about this issue, and one of my classmates who's a woman in some STEM field, she was like, I felt cheapened when I got my scholarship because it wasn't a STEM scholarship, it was a woman in STEM scholarship. And I felt like if I was a man, would I have gotten that same thing? You know what I mean? And I think it's an issue that creates a lot of friction because it's opening the space to it's opening the space for any minority or any person that hasn't had the chance to, but then it's like, what am I good enough for this? It's like,
yes,
like, should I be here because I'm good enough, or am I here because I'm a woman in STEM, I'm an Asian in literature, I'm a gay man making gay shit, so they want gay, you know what I mean? Are you filling a box? Are you filling a box, or do you actually want me to be here? Am I actually good enough?
100%. I'm sure you've probably felt that in some way before, right? Or like
some way, yeah, but also like my art's not like, I'm not being cocky, but my art's not good because I'm gay. You know what I mean? It's more, it's
no,
more
100%. It goes past it.
And I feel like art itself is such a space that everyone is in already. It has its issues, but it's like from the get-go, it's like, so it's like, I don't want people to critique me and be scared of being like, okay, you need to do more with this because you're scared you're going to be homophobic. You know, it's like, no, just tell me what's bad. So I don't know. I'm like, I felt that, but also I'm like, it's a hard like thing. You know what I mean? Because it's also like, when I'm applying to college, if my art wasn't about being gay, they wouldn't know I was gay. It's not, I didn't check a box and say I'm homosexual. You know what I mean? I didn't say like,
what if they did?
I'm a man that likes men. That's an issue though. That's an issue. Here's the thing. I don't know how to fix that issue, or what's the best course of action to go around that, because you're dealing with the past where it's like the spaces weren't open for those people, but now you're dealing with the present where they're trying to open those people, but at the same time, it's like, what?
Because there's different.
Are you
standards.
making up? Are you making up? Or do you feel bad? Or do you just want to be like, oh, we have 61% of our population is BIPOC and STEM, you know what I mean? So I think it's a lot. Unfortunately, it's very chauvinistic and gets at a root like problem, but I don't really know. You know, it's one of those things. It's like such a. It comes at a point where it puts all of these issues together, and then you're just like stuck there around a round table, and you're like, so what now?
Yeah, like how do you fix that? How do you be like, okay, we want to include these people, but because it's at the end of the day, it has to kind of, you know, it kind of corrected and then it kind of overcorrected, and it needs to kind of just try to find that, okay, whoever's best for whatever this thing is, whoever's the best students, go to college, whoever's the best this, go to this. But then I think part of the problem is, if you're thinking of like on a university level where they have like certain percentages of each race that are allowed to go to school there, or like the highest whatever, it's like, okay, well, maybe this person that came from a area in south side of Chicago has less opportunity than someone who came from our area of Chicagoland, where they might not have the same grades, but their perspective is still valid. And that's probably where it came from, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But then it's just tough, because how do you evaluate that to where the point where it's completely equal and everyone has an equal opportunity to go there, even though people's backgrounds aren't equal?
Yeah. So it's definitely tricky, because you need to, I think the main paradox is how do you create an environment that's equitable for everyone? Especially, I think the problem is because we live in a country that's not equitable yet. It has always claimed to be, but that's not the case. You know what I mean? Like like I'm in a class right now. It's like, we're talking about mass incarceration. It's like, that's not equitable. Like that's like a form of like, and we have people on there for like a gram of marijuana.
Yeah. All
if so, lock me up too, because that's not equitable.